registration forms, just in case. It's been brought to my attention that not everyone knows whether they need to fill out that coming out registration form or not. So let me give you a heads up. Rule of thumb, ladies, if you own a Subaru, fill that shit out. Men, if you own a Mini Cooper, fill that shit out. I have to tell you, I came out like decades ago. It wasn't nearly so simple back then. There were no such thing as a coming out registration form. I had to buy Birkenstocks and get a mullet. But you know what? You do what you gotta do. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I was born the youngest of six into a very poor family. I was actually born here in Kentucky, raised in Cincinnati. We were so poor that I was potty trained in an outhouse. Someone always laughs, and it's always someone that was not potty trained in an outhouse. But I have to tell you, I learned two very important things from that experience. Number one, and number two. So it's all good. I came from a very conservative Baptist, Pentecostal, Republican family. Yeah, that was pretty painful. My family was so conservative, they wouldn't even watch The Big Bang Theory until I assured them it had a creator. Now they're playing catch up. Yeah, I'm not that young. When I was born, I cost my parents $214.37, and I was a C-section baby. But ladies, I'm proud to tell you, I'm worth twice that much now. Just like anybody else, you know, I wanted to please my parents, even though we were drastically different. But you know what? It wasn't very long before I dropped the balls. I had an awesome mother. I'm a little bit OCD. And I can remember my mom, when she gave me a task to do, if she didn't want it to be perfect, she would say, "Carla, just give it a lick and a promise." Little did I know it would be the only constructive relationship advice she would ever impart. And I have to tell you, ladies, I'm only good at one of those things. You're welcome. I'm a hairdresser by profession. On my worst day ever as a hairdresser, I accidentally stabbed a man in the back of the head with my shears, and they stuck. I mean, they didn't stick like you throw a dart as hard as you can across the broomstick, but yeah, they were dangling there. I had to stabilize his head with one hand and like pop the shears out with the other. I was so freaked out by the whole incident, I didn't even think to give him both cuts for free. You guys are awesome. Let's take a pause and make a toast here to the lovely ladies. Amy and Renee, you're blessed, and you know it, and you share it with the world. That's awesome. And those of us who have not found what you have found are so damn jealous. But you give us faith that it's out there and we're going to find it also. Congratulations. Many blessings. I make money several different ways. I recently started a small sewing business. I make stool cushions for like those wood hardened bar stools. Call them stool softeners. They sound really great in the older demographic, but I'm having a ton of returns. As you can see from where you're sitting, I am not physically fit. I recently bought myself a total gym. It's a great little machine, comes with a short list of things you're going to need to put it together. But what they neglect to tell you is you will also need a stiff drink, an ice pack, and a Vicodin. When I finally got it fully assembled, I discovered if you lay that bitch perfectly flat, it makes a great bench for eating chocolate cake. I recently decided that I might have an eating disorder. I was crushing an ice cream container down into my garbage can to make room for yet another ice cream container. So I joined one of those medical binge eating surveys. They told me I totally qualified when they sent me a 30-day supply of pills, which I took all at once. We're here because of a wedding. I also married once myself, and I got a DUI once. Those were very similar experiences for me. When I married, I promised God that I would stay married until death do us part, but when it came right down to it, I just couldn't pull the trigger. I mean, come on, what if I'd have missed and hit my dog? Yeah, I'm kidding. I'd put my dog outside first. My friends tell me I'm quite a catch, in a catch and release sort of way. They keep saying, Carla, you know what? There's lots of fish in the sea. What you need to do is lower your standards. So lately I've been fishing whenever I can and eating whatever I catch. I took my car in for a tune-up the other day because I am in fact going fishing tomorrow. And while I was standing in the Subaru parking lot, a goose was on the sidewalk that I did not see. Before I knew it, the goose had run down the sidewalk, grabbed my leg with his beak. Totally freaked out. There was nothing I could do but grab this bird around the neck with both hands. And you know, ladies, I got to tell you something you already know. The hand in the bush beats two on the bird every time. Every freaking time. Last week, one of my friends said, Carla, you know what? It's time for you to lower the walls. You've been single a long time. You need to start dating. You need to let people in. People can only hurt you if you let them. So I sucker punched her. Now we've both been hurt unexpectedly. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I have attention deficit disorder, and I procrastinate. Let me tell you what that means. By the time I find the absolute perfect woman, I'm pretty much already over her. That's how that plays out. I'm getting old. Getting old. I don't know if you heard Amy right before I came up here. She's like, hey, Carla, breaking up. Thanks, Amy. But I have to tell you, the older I get, the more comfortable I get in my skin. It is true, I've heard that all my life. However, I did not know that that was a result of your skin fitting so much more loosely. Apparently, we have some comfortable people out there. I love old people. I don't mind getting old, really. I do love old people. But I don't think they get the respect. I don't think that they get the respect that they deserve. I think it's a horrible thing. I don't know if you're aware of it or not. You can be 87 years old with an absolutely spotless driving record, and they will try to take your license the very first time you run over a kid. I think that's totally unfair. But I have learned a few things in my time. Some of you already know this. Women taste like chicken. Black women taste like church's chicken. Republican women taste like Chick-fil-A. They've been calling me that since I was in my 20s though, but now it's more appropriate. I got a speeding ticket a couple of weeks ago for doing 20 miles over the speed limit. I was really excited to tell my friends. What I didn't tell them is that I was doing 45 and a 25. Kind of would have ruined it, but you know what, in my own defense, I did think the speed limit was 70. So that's all good. I have a 10-year-old godson I absolutely adore. Beautiful boy. Took him out to dinner on Tuesday. And when the food arrived, he said, Aunt Carla, would it be okay if I said a prayer for our food? Oh, I was so touched. I'm like, Jacob, that would be awesome. And he bowed his head and he said, Dear Howard, thank you so much for this awesome food. Amen. I said, Jacob, thanks for doing that. That was really sweet, and I am totally impressed. You even knew God's name was Howard. How did you know that? He says, well, you know, it is in the Bible. Jesus said it. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And I should have just left it alone, but I didn't. I said, Jacob, do you know any other Bible stories? He's like, well, I do know one. He said, Jesus walked into town one day and he found a big group of men. They were throwing rocks at this woman and calling her bad names. And he walked up to them and he said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And everybody stopped. And the ringleader of the bad men, he walked over to Jesus with this big rock. He said, Jesus, we are so sorry. You're absolutely right. You do it. You didn't think I was going to get up here and talk without putting a rock in the hand of the church, did ya? As we were leaving for dinner. We were at Bob Evans, and we get out into the parking lot, and I look down, and he's eating a candy bar that I had not purchased, and he had not purchased. And after all of this God talk, I'm like, okay, we do all this, and now he steals a candy bar? So we get out in the parking lot, and I'm like, Jacob, we're going back in, and you're going to apologize for taking that candy bar, and we're going to pay for it. And we went back in, and he said he was sorry, and we paid for it, and we walked away, and he's like, I don't understand what I did wrong. That sign right there said, kids eat for free on Tuesday. Literal. Kids are so literal. Do we have any animal lovers here? Any big animal advocates? Awesome. We always do in a gay crowd. It's beautiful. I have 3 pets of my own. I have a black French poodle named Susie, a black cat named Simon, and a black and white biracial cat named Sam. Obviously, there's no prejudice in my home. The cats and I don't even care that Susie's French. Shortly after I wrote that joke, my biracial cat passed away. It was horribly sad. I had fought it was a rescue cat, and I had put a lot of time and effort and money into saving it, and my friends were like, Carla, you loved Sam so much, you fought so hard for him. Why don't you get him stuffed? And I'm like, well, because that's really gross. But it did get me to thinking, you know, maybe there was another option. Maybe I didn't have to say goodbye forever. And I'm here to let you know, got myself a new pair of boots out of it. Yeah, guys, that's a joke. Just got to tell that joke. You just can't pussyfoot around that one. Anybody here okay with the one-night stand? That's awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. I have a lot of friends that are totally okay with the one-night stand, but I have to tell you, I think it throws the whole balance of the bedroom off if you don't have 2. That's a thinking joke. Does anybody here know what the unofficial lesbian beer is? Anybody? Unofficial lesbian beer? That would be Bush. Actually, it was Bush in the 80s and 90s, but the ladies are cutting back these days. Now it's Bush Light. A friend walked up to me the other day and she said, Carla, Goldbusch, is it kosher for Jewish people to refer to sex as porking? I said, well, technically, if you prepare it up on one surface, but then you serve it up on another, totally kosher. Totally kosher. Jewish lesbians are extremely tight. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said that.
She said it!
I've never had any tattoos. I really didn't have any urge to have any tattoos until recently. And when I was contemplating what I would get, I thought, you know, being a comedian, I need to up the ante. People are going to expect it to be funny. So I put a lot of thought into it, and I got two. I got one to the left side of my pubic area of a lawnmower, since it's Bush Light time. And on the other side, I got the words tattooed, eat it like a champ. That's right, ladies. I'm both well-groomed and come with directions. Before I get out of here, I'd like to give a little advice to the married couple from the brilliant Phyllis Diller. Phyllis Diller has wedding advice for you tonight. She says, marry someone your own age. So as your beauty fades, so is their eyesight. Which is awesome. And never ever go to bed mad. Stay up and fight. Stay up and fight. You guys have been awesome. Thanks for coming out. My name is Goldbusch.
Y'all, can we hear it for the most beautiful, crazy, and magnificent lesbian comedian in the tri-state area at the very least? Carla Goldbusch! You know, your name is kind of funny.
But it's pretty good because you could have been Carla Goldbusch, and so you did pretty well getting the gold there.
Polka dot or, you know, mauve. Silver bush.
You know, when you totally transcend, it'll be iridescent bush, but we'll wait for that.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You did not get one of these.
Phone numbers.
Phone numbers. The best wedding present you can give us, or to any couple that wants to get married in the state of Indiana or Kentucky, is to call the governors and the Attorney General. Did anybody not get this that would like to do that?
If you'd like to take some with you to hand out to friends, we highly recommend it. Trust me, it's really good therapy. You can just call there and just tell them everything you're irritated about.
Put them in fortune cookies.
Yeah. Put them in the bathroom somewhere. They'll have no idea why they're there, but they'll pick them up. Maybe call them and ask them on a date. You know, not really know what's
They'll be over here at the donation table, but please consider taking these and passing them out. And oh my God, we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. Are you having a good time?
Did y'all love Carla? Let me hear y'all. Did y'all love Carla? We want you to know that.
And how about Squeeze Bot?
Yeah! We want you to know that Carla is available for parties, single parties, big parties, medium-sized parties.